great people has been moved to defend our great nation. Terrorist attacks can shake the foundations of our daily buildings, but they cannot touch the foundation of America.
In the Council of the People, we must guard against the activation of unwanted influence, whether sought or unsought, by the military-industrial complex.
Inherently and historically opposed to secret society.
We, as Americans, have the capacity now, as we had in the past, to do whatever needs to be done to preserve this last and greatest bastion of freedom. In this present crisis, government is not the solution to our problem. Government is the problem.
Welcome back to Embers of Liberty once again, where the technical difficulties will continue until morale improves. What is that?
Did you not hear? I'm back again.
Yeah, we are back once again. Damn it. Anywho, so we technically have already covered our weeks and stuff, but Joe,
it was good.
Quick refresher. It was good. It was good. Okay,
move on.
Let's talk friend things.
Yep. Oh.
Oh, wait. Yep. There we go. Anyway, we're back. It's been 2 weeks. A lot of shit has happened. Including but not limited to another incident of Pop falling.
I thought it was just somebody else.
Oh, no. He fell up the stairs again.
Oh.
It's wonderful.
Do we get to see it?
Yes, we're going to watch that right now. I was going to start with We Hate Her, but I've decided that it's better to start with something funny. Let's see. Here we go. Did you see it?
I did. Go further.
Well, let's just... Yeah. Leader of the free world, ladies and gentlemen. Absolutely ridiculous.
By stairs.
It's been a while since I've had to operate the controls, so it may be a little glitchy at times. So you really expect me to believe that this man who has been caught multiple times falling up the stairs going into Air Force One is gonna run for re-election?
I hope
Is that a thing that they expect us to believe, that he has the capacity to actually continue running the country? Oh wait, he's not running the country. That's right. Somebody else is pulling the strings here, and it ain't Joe Biden. Of course, you know, I do have something that I need to send to the Discord so that I can show everybody that Kate's dad sent to me. And it is so funny. Let's just put it in the general. I haven't sent this to you yet, so you'll think it's funny too. I don't think I sent it to you. I may have sent it to you, but I'm pretty sure I didn't. Let me get this. Behold. This is how Pop will be departing Air Force One from now on. Attached to a Chinese spy balloon.
Now that's funny.
Speaking of Chinese spy balloons, you know, that first balloon that we shot down was actually, you know, a Chinese spy balloon.
Yep.
And, you know, they shot down 3 more objects
Right.
in quick succession. You know what it turns out those were?
What?
Not Chinese spy balloons.
That's what. Oh, excuse me. Sorry.
Ooh.
That's what I hear.
Very good. I sure did.
Wow.
Also, hold on.
I like that one.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah. Yeah. What
And
else
then-
you got?
that's it.
I
That's,
like
that's
it.
all the new ones.
I like it.
So anyway, yeah. Now we don't have to reach over there to hit the. Now, what I do like about the Zoom one though is that you can just hold it for as long as you want claps, and it'll just keep doing it.
Okay.
This one, not so much.
I got you.
It's disappointing, but it's okay. I mean, you could say that we're just real man of genius. It's been a minute, man. I gotta enjoy this.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm kind of retarded.
We'll just take that as a sign to tell y'all to make sure you hit that like and subscribe button
Indeed,
and hit the bell so you can be notified when we go live.
you're terrible at that pitch. If you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Give us a like, and fire upon that bell icon so that you're always notified when we go live.
Why does it always do 2 when I click it?
I don't know. Somebody else has already liked it.
Vid.
Oh, I don't know. So weird. Anywho, it's pretty quiet night.
Why is my ass so itchy right now?
Dude, probably because you just spent 15 minutes on the fucking toilet.
Bro, what
I don't want
what is this? What it's like something like I went in the pants to itch this time and there's something stuck to my ass. Bro, what the hell?
I don't want to know about whatever stuck to your ass.
What the shit?
Hey, that's gross.
What?
Quite literally.
Bro, what like
Get that out of here.
What?
Get it out of
what
here.
the shit?
What is that?
It was on my ass.
Get it out of here.
Here. No, that was me and Beth pranking you.
Yeah.
Damn it! It didn't work as
It
good as
really
I.
didn't.
It was Nutella.
Okay.
I was hoping you'd be like, what the shit?
As someone who's changed shitty diapers multiple times in the past week, or in the past couple of weeks, I really don't care.
Damn it! That's like
First off,
smells like you can smell the Nutella.
why?
For
Why?
a end of the year.
No,
clip.
it wasn't good though.
I know. It backfired on me.
You're terrible at selling things.
It didn't work as good as I was hoping.
Disgraceful.
I know. Damn it. Move on.
Stupid.
Anywho, also it should be noted that somebody also fell off the stairs of Air Force One.
Is that what I'm thinking of?
So, then there was this. Right here. Whoop! Of course, it did buy to fall down the stairs of Air Force One.
Looks like he slid down the rail.
Now, the claim is that it was a staffer.
That's what I heard on Rick and Bubba.
But if you want to know what I think happened. Oh, man. I think that it probably was a staffer, but I would like to believe that it was Pop.
Boy, they went. I mean, they were like, They bought the quick pass.
Yeah. So
They bought the Air Force One quick pass, man.
other than that, it's so we're just kind of hitting things hot and heavy, right? Because I don't know if you know this, but there was a little thing that happened in East Palestine, Ohio.
Oh yeah.
It was basically a nuke. What are you doing? Can I help you?
Oh, I was just looking at something.
What were you looking at?
You said we were getting hot and heavy, so I was gonna be like,
That's fair. You know what?
there you go. Yeah, just
Well,
no, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
hold on.
Don't do it.
Hold on. No.
There we go. Now I can,
I'm a man who likes to share sometimes. Not that way.
Stupid. Come on, man.
It's just a soundbite episode. Come on, man.
Come on, man.
You remember those prank call videos we used to watch, and they did the whole call with like the soundboards.
Yes.
Like,
Those
just do a whole episode with soundboards.
Those were hilarious. Now, this whole thing in East Palestine, Ohio, they're trying to blame Trump for deregulating.
Which is weird.
Well, so they're trying to blame deregulation of the rail industry for the failure that led to the EPA literally blowing up a train full of dangerous chemicals, which have proceeded to kill all the wildlife, or all the fish and stuff in the area. It's made the water completely unsafe to drink. And, Pete Buttigieg was, Pete Buttigieg, right?
Pete Buttigieg.
He was more concerned with racism in the workplace for construction crews than he was with East Palestine, Ohio.
No, yeah, I heard that. He was concerned with the lack of black folks in the construction industry, right?
Yes. Now,
not other colors, because there's plenty of Hispanic folks, plenty of white folks. He was concerned with the lack of black folks, which, by the way, the construction industry does have a lot of black folks too, so I don't know what in the world he's talking about.
Now, I do wish that I had thought about this.
Now, it is probably a predominantly white and, we'll say, Hispanic workforce, but that's not because of racism. That's because black folks probably do not want to do that kind of work.
Well, the thing is that a lot of people just don't want to do construction.
Yeah. I'm not saying that black folks are incapable of doing that or what. I'm just saying their culture may just may not want to do it. And okay, I don't care. Don't do construction if you don't want to do construction.
Well, so the problem is that this was something that.
And Ms. Sohn, thank you for coming before us today. So I want to take my line of questioning in a slightly different direction from some of the other folks. And I think just to be direct with you, Ms. Sohn, there are actually areas of substantive agreement between the two of us on some of these issues. But I also notice that you are a participant in what I would call this weird racialization of American political rhetoric in the last few years. And in particular, I think coming out of a desire to give equal opportunity and fairness to every American, regardless of skin color, that's of course a very good thing. There's been this weird trend in certain corners of American politics to be very, very racialized and even to criticize explicit racial groups almost as a pejorative. And you unfortunately have participated in that. And I want to ask just a couple of questions on that. Before I do, I want to illustrate this by pointing out something that's going on in my state. We have a very, very bad train crash in East Palestine, Ohio. It's caused a terrible chemical spill, likely environmental consequences. as far as the eye can see. And of course, we're doing as much as we can to help constituents on the ground. But I note that Secretary of Transportation Pete Buttigieg yesterday, when he made some public remarks, instead of commenting on this or talking about the issue or giving any reason to think that he's focused on one of the major transportation mishaps in this country over the last couple of years, he decided to instead focus on the terrible scourge of too many white men in the construction industry. And I find that preposterous, both on its own face, but also as a focus from the Secretary of Transportation.
You can find the video of Pete Buttigieg making that comment.
All right, Senator Lujan.
Because I really need, there is video. I've heard it. I've seen it. I just can't find it. But the fact is that no matter if there are too many white people in the construction industry, when you have a major train derailment, actually 4 train derailments in the span of a couple of days, I think you got bigger problems than, I don't know, white people in construction. Also, last time I checked, you are the Secretary of Transportation. Why are you worried about construction crews? Shouldn't you be worried about fixing transportation issues?
But Justin, we have transportation issues because of the lack of black folks in the construction industry.
How many times do we have to teach you this lesson, old man?
Nobody gives a shit
No,
what color your skin is.
including black folks.
Literally nobody cares. And if you do care, you're a racist. And you know what? Whatever. At this point, I'm so done with the racism shit
It's getting tiring.
that I don't even want to talk about it anymore. It's literally getting to that point where I'm just kind of like numb to it. Did you find it?
I sent it to the link repository.
Oh, you didn't call it the suppository this time.
I didn't feel like it.
Makes me sad. So, Buttigieg tells crowd white construction workers are taking jobs from communities of color. I bet you this doesn't play. Nope. Let's see if I can find a here it is. Oh, you got to be kidding me. Why is this a thing that's happening tonight?
What in the world?
Okay, so
We're getting algo. That's what it is.
no, I don't think that's what it is. I think that Firefox is just trash. I guarantee you it's a Firefox thing.
It shouldn't be though, because I use Firefox on here. When I sent it to you, I was using Firefox.
Yeah, but this computer is not your computer.
Cody, where did you touch Firefox?
Buttigieg tells crowd white construction work.
That's not what I wanted.
I think that is it. Go down. Yeah. It's just, hold on. Just go to that. See what it does.
Buttigieg tells crowd white construction workers are taking jobs from communities of color. Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg focused on racial changes to past object I think well was buzzed on choices.
Dang it.
That's not it.
Maybe that one right there.
What?
That one up right there.
No, that's from 3 years ago.
Oh.
Where is it? This is dumb.
Oh yeah, and racism is built into the roads.
Yeah, that's what he claims. Unfortunately for
They
him,
just take their buckets of racism and be like, we're gonna pour it into the roads. Yeah, maybe not such a long, just booty gig racism. Booty gig. Stop in racism.
Oh my God. Okay, you know what? Oh, bad, Justin. What are you doing? Go. Oh, stop.
You said bad Justin. I was watching.
Yeah, don't. Yeah, you also made me click something. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Let's try this again. Bet you it works.
He just looks like he don't know what he's trying to do.
What a privilege it is for you to have me here this evening, ladies and gentlemen.
It was Amber.
Oh, go away.
With your contractors, to work with your community colleges on building a workforce that reflects the community. We have heard way too many stories from generations past of infrastructure where you got a neighborhood, often a neighborhood of color, that finally sees the project come to them, but everyone in the hard hats on that project looking like, doing the good paying jobs, don't look like they came from anywhere near the neighborhood.
Right.
You can build community wealth that will help close wealth gaps in this country if we can tear down those barriers. But that happens at the delivery level.
So, at the end of the day, that doesn't matter.
That's not how it works
at all.
That's not even how it works. Like you just prove that you don't know how anything works.
Literally nothing.
Because that's not how businesses work. Like they're not going to be like, hey, we're working on it, because they cities subcontract out to construction companies, and they've got their own people that they've hired already, that they come in there and they do the work. They're not going to go in there and be like, hey, let's go hire this. Like, all you guys, you're just going to have to piss off. We're going to go in here and hire the guys people that live in this community. That's not how it works. That's not what happens at all.
Nope.
Nor should it.
No, it shouldn't.
Because you're assuming these people know how to build things. And I'm not saying like these people it's
Firefox, 100%.
And I'm not saying these people as in like black folks or people in any specific community. I'm saying like any community, whether you go to a white neighborhood, black neighborhood, brown, yellow, purple, orange, cream, whatever.
Yeah.
You're assuming that people in that neighborhood know how to build things.
Yeah, well, you're assuming that people who live in that neighborhood have the training necessary. You're assuming a lot of things that are, quite frankly, just bullshit. Because at the end of the day, the construction crews need to be people who are capable of doing the construction. Right?
Exactly.
Am I wrong here?
No.
Okay, so back to the actual thing that's happening, that's not about racism in construction crews. The train derailment in East Palestine, Ohio, where Pop hasn't been, Buttigieg didn't go until after a certain former twice impeached president, Russian puppet President Donald J. Trump, went. The fact that Donald Trump made it to East Palestine, Ohio before both Biden and Buttigieg is fucking disgusting. It's absolutely unacceptable for the leader of the country to not go out there and the former president go out there. And it's totally unacceptable for the Secretary of Transportation to not go and see what happened.
Yep.
This is directly related to transportation. You can't just ignore this. That's not how it works. You have to actually be boots on the ground. So, of course, you know, after the fact, he showed up out there.
State leaders, including Ohio Emergency Management, and local leaders from the county and from the community, council members, and the mayor had a good conversation with the mayor, who is clearly very focused on supporting this community and helping the community move forward.
Unlike you.
As well as other village staff, including the village manager, waterworks leader, and the fire chief. And I just have to say the resilience, the resolve, and the decency of this community as they have gone through both this disaster's immediate impacts and the swirl of national and international and political attention that's come their way. Their decency and resolve has been inspiring. I also want to make sure to acknowledge something that happened yesterday. A plane crash took the lives of 5 people working for CTEH. That is a firm that is involved in this cleanup. I met with some of their personnel earlier today who are mourning the loss of...
This doesn't matter. Butt-Gig, that doesn't matter. Maybe if you would do your fucking job, planes wouldn't crash, trains wouldn't be derailed. Roads wouldn't have potholes. Isn't that what the Secretary of Transportation...
I mean, I would think so. I would think he would manage that stuff.
Should be doing.
I would think so.
Now, here's the stark contrast.
Well, the mayor of East Palestine has previously said he welcomes both Trump and Biden to his community, but he's made it clear he does not want this train derailment disaster to become some sort of political circus. But it seems politics is at play a bit. Some of the people we've spoken to here say they don't think the Biden administration has done enough to help, and certain folks say they don't even want the current administration officials here because they think it's too late. Today, on the other hand, Donald Trump arrived to a crowd of people excited that he showed up to see that cleanup firsthand and talk to first responders. Now, Trump's visit to East Palestine comes just a few days after FEMA offered its aid to this community, comes after they previously declined aid and said East Palestine did not meet requirements for their assistance. Today, Trump said he believes it was the announcement of his visit that changed things. Listen.
FEMA said specifically this doesn't meet the criteria, and that's horrible, and somebody has to do something for those people. I said back, when I announced that I was coming, they changed their tune. It was an amazing phenomenon.
Now, FEMA has previously said it was in contact with officials in Ohio from day one when that train derailed.
Okay, so now that's not exactly what I wanted.
You're so picky.
What I wanted was his greeting, because that was just one of those things. Nope, this isn't it. And yes, I am picky, Joe.
Imagine that.
As I should be.
The struggle continues today in East.
Well, there is a lot.
I don't
are still struggling from that.
It is. It was an hour a need, but they've done some incredible work in a very short.
Action agency ordered Norfolk Southern from. transportation. Palestine continue.
Nope. I don't understand why it's so hard to find what I want.
Maybe you don't know what you want, Justin.
Oh,
Maybe
no,
it's
I
an
know
underlying
exactly,
cause.
I know exactly what I want. I just can't seem
To the people of East Palestine and to the near.
Trump met residents in East Palestine nearly 3 weeks after a train carrying hazardous materials crashed.
East Palestine Mayor Trent Conaway was able to chat with the former president this afternoon alongside Ohio Senator J.D. Vance. Despite his claim.
To the people of East Palestine and to the told you loud and clear, you are not forgotten.
Today, former President Donald Trump met residents in East Palestine nearly 3 weeks after a train carrying hazardous materials crashed.
East Palestine Mayor Trent Conaway was able to chat with the former president.
Now, it should be noted that this particular area voted 70% for Trump in 2020.
Maybe that's why.
In 2020? Yeah, 2020 election.
Our administration didn't show up.
It could be.
They don't care.
You know, and so, of course, you know, Buttigieg had to explain why he didn't go sooner.
I was gigging booty. Booty gigging. It's a lot of work.
Booty gigging indeed.
Pete Buttigieg, 20 days after the train derailment, finally visits East Palestine. Okay, seemingly.
Okay, so just to show, I actually do listen to the Young Turks sometimes because it's good to hear what the idiots among us are doing and saying, because this is where a lot of people are getting their information, and a lot of it's just wrong. But I really just want to explain. Pete Buttigieg makes excuses for delayed response in Ohio. Excuses. They're not letting him off the hook either.
Begrudgingly. Now, he provided an excuse for why it took him so long to visit. So why don't we take a look at that, and then I'll give you the reaction from Sonny Hostin on The View.
What I tried to do was balance two things: my desire to be involved and engaged and on the ground, which is how I am generally wired to act, and my desire to follow the norm of transportation secretaries, allowing NTSB to really lead the initial stages of the public-facing work. I'll do some thinking about whether I got that balance right.
No, you didn't get that balance right. So,
boom. Even the lefties are all over Pete Buttigieg.
Quit gigging so many butts. Get your butt in gear.
I'm just happy that we're unified in this, because this is absolutely
disgraceful.
Yep. Quit gigging so many butts and get your butt in
And
gear.
you know
butt
what?
Gig.
Here's the thing. Pete Buttigieg is he's just a what's the word I'm looking for? Oh yeah.
Liar!
Yes indeed. So, what's happening in East Palestine is awful. They tried to blame this on Trump deregulating the rail industry. In particular, a rule about train brakes, right? Saying that, well, you know what? Let's go to The View for a second.
Oh, geez.
Two questions. First of all, the president frequently visits the site.
Nope, that's not what I wanted.
That's who you voted. That's who you voted for in that district. Donald Trump, who reduces all safety. He did.
Just like showed up at McDonald's and those voters saw something on the ground that probably resonates in a way
That's
that
the
they
thing.
need.
But they need to look past the photo ops, these people, and say who's doing the job here.
Joy Behar and the ladies of The View just.
I don't really care what Anna Kasparian has to say about this because, well, frankly, her opinions are garbage most of the time. Now,
so are Joy Behar's.
Do believe? Well, yeah, Joy Behar is a shameful leftist who literally just blamed the residents of East Palestine
for a train derailment.
For a train derailment that they had nothing to do with, nor did Trump's deregulation efforts have anything to do with. Because under the law, the way it was written, the regulations, that train wouldn't have been affected by those. They've also tried to say that it was because there wasn't enough people on the train, like operators. There were 3. They've tried to say there was only 1. Not true. There were 3. There were 2 full-time operators and a trainee. At the end of the day, it's nobody's fault except for poor maintenance on the behalf of Norfolk Southern, which, by the way, lobbies Congress a lot.
Did anybody die during this?
I'm sure people are going to die, but as far as dying in the initial train derailment, no. That's not something that...
It just reminded me of the front falling off that boat. And it's like, well, how many people are supposed to be...
Okay, first off, that's our funny. Find it, send it to the Discord.
I thought we did it already.
I don't think we did.
But it's like,
well,
how many people are supposed to how many people are supposed to operate it? Well, 1. At least 1.
What makes that safe? Well, clearly the front's not supposed to fall off. Anyway, so we're going to move on from the East Palestine thing. It's terrible, but the cleanup effort is going. The water's not safe to drink in East Palestine. I don't care what anybody says. You got another Flint, Michigan on your hands right here. Now, the bad thing about the East Palestine train derailment is the waterways that it affects.
So this may be worse than Flint.
It literally is going to contaminate the entire Ohio River,
which connects to
the Mississippi,
which connects to
the
Gulf.
Yeah. So this is going to have much.
Don't go to the beach this year, kids, unless you want the skin-eating bacteria again.
It's going to have much more dire consequences than just in East Palestine, and that's what people need to understand about it, because it's going to get worse. It's going to get way worse. So
it's going to get in your vegetables.
Now it's time for my favorite segment.
Hide your kids. Hide your wife. Hide your husbands.
That's not the right one. It's time for my favorite segment. Do you know what my favorite segment is, Joe?
We hate her.
We hate her. It's just so bad. So she was directly questioned about decline in real wages. And this is what she said.
And secondly, on CPI, numbers came out today that show a monthly decline in real wages as well as an annual decline in real wages. Administration officials have said growing real wages is an important marker for the economy. How do you view the setback in today's numbers?
So a couple of things. I do want to say that what we have said many times is that we believe that the president's economic plan is indeed working, and it's giving people a little breathing room. You heard me say this at the top, how we have seen, how we have seen.
I'm sorry, I'm having a hard time concentrating because my miniature Yeti in yonder keeps screaming.
Which one is that?
That's Beckham. Hey!
Oi! Go to sleep in there.
Lay down, boy.
You go to sleep, boy.
Lord have mercy.
And then the Beth goes across the room. Anyway, so are you following what she's saying?
No, I was focused on my child screaming. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Things. I do want to say that what we have said many times is that we believe that the president's economic plan is indeed working, and it's giving people a little breathing room. You heard me say this at the top, how we have seen.
Hold on.
Liar!
how we have seen the plan actually working. We're seeing inflation moderate just a bit as we've seen the last couple of months, and that is important. And the way that we see things moving forward, we believe that it is important to continue to work, to finish the work that the president has started. And that's what you heard from him very explicitly just a couple of days ago, just last week when he talked about the State of the Union and how he sees the economy and the progress moving forward. So 2 things on the wages, as you're asking me specifically on those pieces as it relates to the data. Real wages are indeed up over the last 7 months, which is important since trends are always more useful than 1 month's data, as you know. I know this is something that you follow closely, Josh. And the second thing is real weekly earnings are up over the last month. So we continue to make progress fighting inflation. As the president said earlier today, his unwavering focus is on continuing to lower costs for families, and that's going to be our focus. We're going to continue to do that. That's why the Inflation Reduction Act is so critical, is so important.
That's why you're paying $5
and we're going to continue to fight for the American people and meet them where they are.
Okay, so
that was the biggest load of bullshit I've ever heard.
So at the end of her statement there, she forgot that the mic was still hot, and we caught this.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm kind of retarded.
It's weird. Everybody sounds like Alex Jones these days.
Go figure.
Super weird, man. So there was that, and then.
I just don't know how they can sit up there and just say that
and
shit.
Then,
to be fair, though, wages probably are up, Justin. You know why? Because this is probably the time of the year that people usually get their raises if they get raises.
Yeah,
so they can say...
It's next month for where I work.
Well, so they can say, oh, wages are up. Oh, yeah, they're up 50 cents, Karen. Good work. Nothing you did. Nothing you did, Karen. Sit down.
So, here's another thing. So we actually have 3 KJP clips. Black Debbie clips. Would you stop that? Stop it. Bad joke.
How many times do we have to teach you this lesson, old man?
Anyway, so she had a little bit of a blunder.
Okay, so today, as you all saw just an hour or so ago, President Obama announced that, President Biden. Whoa!
Whoa, indeed.
Welcome to Joe's Conspiracy Corner.
Hold on.
Okay, so today, as you all saw just an hour or so ago, President Obama announced that. Okay, so today, as you all saw just an hour or so ago, President Obama announced that. So today, as you all saw just an hour or so ago, President Obama announced that.
Did you practice that?
So no, I didn't actually, but first off.
Okay, so today, as you all saw just an hour or so ago, President Obama announced that.
Smooth.
Super weird how she messed that up, because I'm pretty sure that Obama hasn't been president for 6 years now.
Welcome to Joe's Conspiracy.
Shiz me. That is a bigly mistake.
Pardon me, President Biden. Whoa! That is news.
Yeah, not the kind of news you want. So, and then, as it pertains to the Chinese spy balloons and the UAPs, we also got this gem.
Why is the American military shooting something out of the sky over Canada?
Because it's part of NORAD. The NORAD is part of like a
part of it's a what you call a coalition, a consortium,
a pact of nations.
A pact,
okay.
Exactly. And so that's why we were able to do that. Again, we didn't do it on our own. We did it clearly in step with Canadia. Clearly in step with Canadia. Clearly in step with Canadia. Clearly in step with Canadia.
I'm sorry. Can you tell me where Canadia is?
Probably next to District 12.
Does Canadia exist?
Next to District 12. President Snow don't like them.
How much postage does it cost to send a letter to Canadia?
Why?
It says, "Dear Canadia, fuck you." And that's been so anywho, there's other things that are going on as well. One of those things is, well, a treasure trove of January 6th footage has been given to Fox News. Now, I think it's
14
important.
hours? Is that 14 hours worth?
It's a time lapse.
But still 14 hours time lapse?
Yeah.
It didn't even last that long.
So here's the thing, right?
Police are squabbling with protesters. Oh, there we go.
No, they're not. So much squabbling. So much of the squabbling.
What in the hell?
Police are squabbling with protesters. Oh, there we go.
Did you see what just happened?
The police literally, looks like some of them opened the gate.
They moved the barricade.
And they just breached the Capitol again.
No. They didn't breach shit. Watch closely.
Police are squabbling with protesters. Oh, there we go.
I don't know if they necessarily opened it, but they just allowed them to open it.
They moved. The police moved it.
And they just breached the Capitol again.
So, here's the thing. There's that, and then there's this.
Set the cops up on Jan 6.
They set up 64. Oh, absolutely. And then they asked her to come 2 hours later.
Was it the same people who set up the rally attendees?
Nah, right away. They set us the fuck up. So nah, we ain't got shit. We ain't got no motherfucking.
Is this why so much January 6th footage has been hidden for so long?
Take this motherfucker. Shit.
Is this why so much January 6th footage has been hidden? Let me go ahead and answer that question for you. Yes. It is absolutely. It is 100%.
The cop, they said they set us up. They're like, let's let them take it. Let them take it. Hell yeah, copper boy.
And then there's this. There's no sound here, but
okay. Let's see. I'm trying to pay really close attention here.
See the tear gas that just flew through there?
I'm assuming that's what that is that we keep seeing smoking.
Part of it, yeah. So
Rich has a 40. Rich, over here. 40.
This is what happened.
Put it out.
Wherever they have them from here, Rich.
Right over there. Put it out. Hey, Rich. Put it up in the fucking scaffolding. Hey, make sure. Yes.
What are you going to do with that? What's wrong with that? Hey, what are they throwing back?
Everything. Or fire it up in the air, Rich. Over there.
All right, record this. I don't have my camera.
I got it.
Just go.
Just fucking shoot.
The fuck?
Shit. Very far.
And then it's blowing back on them. Freaking stupid.
never hear how that happened.
It's like, you know, there's this thing called wind.
It's also there's this thing called irony. And you just got a full dose of it, bud. Like 100% ironic.
And they're still
that just happened.
Still riding the January 6th train. They're still riding
now,
that
it's not
train.
that they're still riding the January 6th train. It's that the January 6th train is blowing up in their fucking faces, and it is comical.
But they still use it. Like, on the State of the Union, he was like, oh, and they tried to breach the Capitol, and blah, blah. And shut up.
Let's see. So, the other thing is Kevin McCarthy gave Tucker Carlson thousands of hours of video, right? And like 40,000 hours of surveillance video. And a lot of it ain't gonna be good for the people in power.
Imagine being the person that's got to sit there and watch it all.
Now, here's the other thing. So, if you want to know just how corrupt this is and how deep the rabbit hole goes,
you're not convicted felon. You still have status.
That's Nancy Pelosi's daughter. Now, you just wait until it actually loads because it's being stupid.
You're not convicted felon. You still have status.
Oh, come on now. I really need for this to just work. And it just doesn't want to. It just doesn't want to do it. Stop that. I swear to God. I think you live to irritate me sometimes.
If I didn't, who would?
Oh, trust me. There's plenty of people. This is just not going to work.
Maybe refresh it.
You win the appeal and overturn it. So he would still have some incentive. Yeah,
so some days I tell him he got great legal. Sometimes I say 8 months was great. Considering that the shaman who did not, I mean, what did the shaman do? He stood there. What did Pope do? He stood there. The shaman got how many months? 41 compared to 8. So when I saw that, I was like, and I think that the government is going to go for more.
Good night,
they're
Probs.
going to look to get bigger. Like people are criticizing some of the people that got home.
He got 41 months for what?
Standing there.
For what Nancy Pelosi's daughter just admitted was just standing there?
Well, that just goes to prove that the reason they put him away for so long was to make him an example. Not because of anything he was actually charged with, but to set fear in the rest of them. You know, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And to make him an example. That's really what they did.
I mean, that's exactly what they did.
Which is kind of tyrannical, but it's not kind of tyrannical. It is tyrannical.
Let's see. There was some footage of him that was literally just him walking into a place and saying, "Hey, fucking patriots, this is what I like to see." And I don't know where it's at.
This is previously undisclosed video of protesters illegally entering and refusing to leave the building.
He's got to come.
Okay.
He's got.
Nope.
This is previously undisclosed video.
That's not it.
The select committee has uncovered evidence in the course of our investigation that at Stop the Steal protests at state capitals across the country, there were individuals with...
Also, fuck you, Adam Schiff.
Is this the city? Where the fuck are they? Look, it's a PR war, okay? You have to understand it's an IO war. We can't lose the IO war. We're better than that. Information operation.
I think Chris would want us to do.
Glad to see you guys.
Here we go. This is exactly what I wanted. Just took a little doing.
Fucking hey, man. Glad to see you guys. You guys are fucking patriots. Look at this guy. He's got covered in blood. God bless you.
You good, sir? Do you need medical attention?
I'm good, thank you.
All right.
I'm good, thank you.
Yeah!
Some kind of plastic bullet.
Any chance I could get you guys to leave the Senate wing?
We will. I've been making sure they ain't disrespecting the place.
Okay, just want to let you guys know this is like the sacredest place.
I know. Hey, no, I'm gonna take a seat in this chair because Mike Pence is a fucking traitor. I'm not one to usually take pictures of myself, but in this case, I think I'm making an exception. Hey, you and the Ray, can you take a picture of me? I'm throwing my phone.
See, now, in order for this to have been a violent insurrection,
they would have shot that cop.
They would have, not stopped until all of the people that they wanted dead were dead. They would have had weapons. There wouldn't have been a dude that looks like a fucking shaman with a red, white, and blue face.
If that's what you want to call him.
None of this makes any fucking sense, right? And that's the whole problem.
And aren't they still? They're still calling it an armed insurrection too.
They are. They're still calling it a deadly armed insurrection, and it's fucking ridiculous.
Just because some of them have tactical gear.
I mean, and just all like, you can't sit here and tell me that this is an armed insurrection when this is the things that you see.
Hey! Fucking hey, man. Glad to see you guys. You guys are fucking patriots. Look at this guy. He's got covered in blood. God bless you.
Does that sound like an armed insurrection to you?
No.
Does that sound deadly to you?
No.
No. Nope. Because it's not.
Stupid.
So, at the end of the day, I personally cannot wait to see all of this footage.
For me, though, okay, still, to this day, if we do this again, please cover your face. Do not wear anything that signifies who you are or what you do. Do not put it on Facebook. Literally, be the gray man. Be the gray man.
The gray man.
Be the gray man.
Real man of genius.
Not that I agree.
Bud Light presents
Not that
Real Men of Genius.
Not that I agree with him doing this.
The gray man.
I did like
He doesn't show his face when he incites a deadly insurrection because he doesn't want to get caught. Be like the gray man.
Right. But anyway, not that I agree with the fact that they did this, but I did like the effect that it had on Congress. Like they're like, oh crap, these people can do things.
Oh, okay. So again, this
sent the message.
This wasn't a deadly insurrection,
right?
But what it should be is a reminder that these people work for us, not the other way around.
Right. Even though that night, didn't she say something like, "We don't work for you"? Or one of them, or I think it may have been AOC or Nancy Pelosi saying, "We don't
Alexandra
work for you."
Ocasio-Cortez, Representative D. Twitch.
Did say something at some point.
She said something like that, like, "We don't work for you." Yes, you do, bitch.
Let's see. Dun, 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 dun.
Big booty Latina. Need to make that a soundbite. The guy going, "There's my big booty Latina."
Yeah.
I'm giving you the
to
power.
search,
You're
to
presenting.
search
it's impossible
you,
with
sir,
your- with
from
your
Louisiana, to search your heart.
Nope, that's not it. Go back.
Madam Speaker, I seek recognition for a question of congressional district, but every congresswoman and every woman in this country.
Nope. Now, I know for a fact that this is a thing that happened. I have heard it many times. Let's see. Come on now. That's
Try this
super
one.
annoying.
Try that one.
This is Democracy Now!, democracynow.org, the War and Peace Report. By Yoho Thursday and effing capital earlier. Or on Wednesday, Cortez to respond.
Thank many of my colleagues for the opportunity to not only speak today, but for the many members from both sides of the aisle. About 2 days ago, I was walking up the steps of here in front of our nation's capital. I was minding my Yoho, put me out of my mind. And then he recognized his, after I had recognized his comments, me rude. I took a few steps. Constituents send me here each and every day to keep a roof over their head. I walked back out in front of reporters. These are the words that Representative Yoho levied New York's 14th congressional as a foot in I have encountered same word. And I have encountered this type of hurt.
Nope. I don't know where it's at.
I think it's a tweet. Because see, here's a tweet. It says, "Yep, if you don't like the new Green Deal, then come up with your own ambitious on-scale proposal to address the global climate crisis. Until then, we're in charge, and you're just shouting from the cheap seats." It was a tweet.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes more sense. Can you send that over? Because that is indeed what I was thinking of. I reckon. So she says, "Yep, if you don't like the Green New Deal, then come up with your own ambitious on-scale proposal to address the global climate crisis. Until then, we're in charge, and you're just shouting from the cheap seats." Cheap seats.
You work for us, woman.
No, we're in charge. You are supposed to represent us, and you have abdicated your responsibility. So there's all of this, and then some dumbass named Marjorie Taylor Greene is out there.
Omar Green.
Is out there calling for a national divorce.
we've seen people fleeing those leftist policies and moving to states like Florida, Georgia, Texas, states where they like the tax policies, they like the schools, they like the consequences of Republican and red policies. What I think would be something that some red states could propose is, well, okay, if Democrat voters choose to flee these blue states where they cannot tolerate the living conditions, they don't want their children taught these horrible things, and they really change their mind on the types of policies that they support, well, once they move to a red state, guess what? Maybe you don't get to vote for 5 years. You can live there, you can work there, but you don't get to bring your values that you basically created in the blue states you came from by voting for Democrat leaders and Democrat policies.
Now, while I understand what she's saying in the context of don't California my Alabama,
you can't be a tyrant.
Can't say that because you're
taking away people's rights.
You can't take away people's right to vote, period, unless they are a felon.
Well, see, this is
and
how...
I'm sorry, but being a Democrat doesn't make you a felon. It just makes you an idiot.
Right. But this is how the far right thinks, though, too. Like, oh, well, our way is right, and we can tell you what to do and make you do what we want. Then the far left thinks the same. The far right and the far left are really the same thing. They just think different things. You know what I mean? They both want their own tyrannical view of the world.
Indeed.
So,
whereas we just want liberty. I do think, however, while we're talking about political parties and liberty, there have been some disturbing things going on with the Libertarian National Party, including but not limited to a Stop the War Machine rally that was supposed to be anti-war, where they had a lot of speakers slated to be there who were not anti-war and were in fact just pro-Russia, which, as libertarians, I think it's important to note that we do not support Russia, but we also do not support Ukraine. We are literally a Switzerland.
Right.
Armed and neutral.
I'm going to look this up.
Now, the other thing is that there was someone who was listed on the, Rage Against the War Machine. That's it. Yep.
That was last Sunday.
It was last Sunday. Now, the Libertarian Party should not have been involved in this at all. They should have distanced themselves from this as soon as possible. But they didn't. And that's a problem. It's a huge problem. In fact, I made a statement on Twitter about this because of one of the speakers. Anyway, let's see. Where is it? Ah, yes. Here it is. So, if you don't follow our Twitter page, you really should. So, as a libertarian, I feel like it's my responsibility to call my own party out on their bullshit. Said, hey, Libertarian National Party, this is fucking gross. Pedophiles have no business speaking at any event connected to our party. This dude tried to lure a child to a restaurant online and exposed himself to a detective posing as a 15-year-old girl. Give him the boot. This is a terrible look. Scott Ritter. Dickbag. Pedophile. Deserves to fall into a wood chipper. Accidentally, of course. Not accidentally. There is nothing about this man that reflects our values, and he has openly stated that he is not anti-war. At all. He's just anti-Ukraine, and that's the problem. So it's terrible that they're allowing this. Oh, and you know what? I don't think that we've talked about this because we didn't talk about it at all. And I know we didn't. So the IRS introduces a new service industry tip reporting program. It ain't honest, but it's many. Now, Joe, didn't they promise that nobody making under $400,000 a year would pay a penny in new taxes? Isn't that what somebody said?
Justin, I thought so.
I think, let's see if we can find it. I'm sure it's out there somewhere.
So here's what I do. I start with one rule. No one, let me say it again, no one making under $400,000 will see their federal taxes go up, period. This is not about penal.
Well, that's
period. So it's been period.
Oh no, that's weird.
Not comma, period.
Because I do believe that the IRS is targeting service industry people. How many people in the service industry do you know that make more than $400,000 a year?
Well, not the ones getting the tips.
That's right. That's right. So,
like the people that may own the service industry business, maybe making that much.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. If the IRS wants them to report their tips as income, wouldn't that be more taxes on people?
Well,
making
technically,
less than
they were
40K?
already supposed to be reporting tips. Technically,
that's not the point. Taxation is theft, so I don't agree with that.
Right. I don't think you should be taxed on tips because that's a tip is a pay for doing
a gift.
Right.
A tip is a gift.
It's a gift for doing good work. Like it's in a way, dare I say it, a charity. And I don't mean that in a demeaning way.
First of all, tipping should not be how waiters and waitresses and people in the service industry make their living to begin with.
Well, I do believe the law is that if they don't make at least minimum wage, then you have to be paid minimum wage at least. Which usually...
That's not the law.
Yeah.
At all. No, it's not.
I think it is.
Federal minimum wage for waiters and waitresses is $2.13. I do believe.
I think I saw somewhere where, but that's
that may
assuming
that may be a proposal, but that's not.
Because that was a while back. Either way, most people that I know that actually do a good job as a waiter or waitress, don't have any problem.
Hey, look.
Okay. But let's see. As a cash wage in accordance with the Fair Labor Act.
Okay.
If the employee's cash wages and tips combined are less than $7.25 an hour, the employee is legally obligated to pay. The employer is legally obligated to pay the employee the difference. See, so they have to pay him at least $7.25. Like
they don't.
It says is legally obligated.
I guarantee you they don't, though.
I don't know. I mean, that's something.
Especially so, a lot of restaurants don't require their wait staff to report their tips.
Right.
As a way to avoid that. Because if they don't know how much,
that's fair.
Then there's no difference to make up. So
either way, that is the rule, though.
It may be the rule. That doesn't mean it's being followed.
I'm saying that's the rule, though. I mean, whether it's being followed, I don't know.
I follow you. I agree.
But
it is indeed the rule.
Most people that I know that have done well at waitressing and waitering had no problem making. Matter of fact, they make a really good living doing it.
A lot of people do, yeah.
So to me, if you're the waiter or waitress that's kind of like, oh, I'm not getting any tips, oh, blah, 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 blah. It's probably because you suck. You should probably maybe care about your job a little more.
Maybe be better.
Be better. Because I don't know too many people that are like, bro, I'm making really crappy money as a waitress. Like, I don't. Like, the people that I know that say that, they suck. Either that or they work at a really low end restaurant where people are tipping like $1 here, $1 there. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Which that's understandable too. Go be a waitress or waiter somewhere else then, Now,
Joe, what was that thing that you put in show prep?
It's just, the whole woke, the continuation of the cancel culture and woke culture.
Okay, we'll cover that in a minute.
Yeah.
I do want to oh, come on now. That's annoying.
Speaking of Twitter, I was listening to Matt Taibbi's episode on Joe Rogan.
Yeah, I've listened to it.
I listened to a little bit of it.
I've listened to most of it.
But you know what was so weird, or what he come out and said? He said that the FBI was formally, like, they said that what shocked them the most was that they figured the interaction between the FBI and Twitter was kind of nonchalant, kind of informal, But they said no, it was very organized.
This has to come.
And he said that should bother people.
Yes, it should. So, now something else that I agree with that our House of Representatives has done, they went to a border state and had a special hearing about the border. Guess how many Democrats went?
None.
0. None.
Of course not.
Shows you the priorities.
It's a lot easier to be a Democrat when you don't actually see the real world.
The day will come soon when Secretary Mayorkas has to come and answer our questions. And to my colleagues, if he'll lie to Mr. Lyons and lie to the community here, then he will lie to us and he will lie to the American people. And that's why I'm very proud to co-sponsor Representative Biggs' articles of impeachment against Secretary Mayorkas, because this is not a lack of ability, it is a lack of will. The day will come soon when
like, he's not doing his job.
Right.
Now, while everybody else is worried about real issues, let me key you in on what the White House is worried about.
KJP, baby.
Let's see.
Oh, is it the deuce?
No. Oh, come on now.
I'm not going to have this stuff out there for you to be able to use, Justin. You got to go looking for it.
That's true. I'll have to find this. Oh, wait. Hold on.
Is the president going to go to Ohio, Kareem?
I don't have at this time, I don't have anything to read out or announce on a travel to Ohio. But once again, we've had EPA on the ground, we've had DOT, Secretary Buttigieg is there today, we've had FEMA, we've had HHS, CDC. I mean, we have had a multi-agency approach to this. That's how important it is to this president to make sure that East Palestine residents.
Liar!
If it was important to the president, he would go. Right?
Right.
But instead of going to East Palestine, Ohio, can you guess where Joe Biden went?
Ice cream shop.
No. Take another guess.
Ukraine.
Very significant moment on the world stage. President Biden met with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky during this unannounced trip. It comes just days before the one-year mark of Russia's brutal invasion of Ukraine. This moment is highly significant this morning. Biden sending a strong message of support to Ukrainians as air raid sirens wailed across Kyiv, underscoring the very real risk involved in this trip. Both leaders spoke a moment ago about the weight of this historic moment.
Now,
like,
hold on. So, you mean to tell me that air raid sirens were going off in Kyiv, and they were just letting Joe Biden walk?
I'm thinking that's some bullshit. I'm thinking there's some Wags the Dog situation. You know what Wags the Dog is?
No, go ahead and
elaborate. Okay, so there was a movie called Wags the Dog, and basically they made up a war to help like boost the economy, and it was all like on, you know, just look it up, like see if there's like a movie thing on it.
Well,
in a minute, but but I think it's all fake. I think it's cinema, and plus, freaking Zelensky's just starting to piss me off. Like him as a person, like all these other people got time to put their suits on, but bro, you got to have your 511 tax shit on. Like, come on, bro. Like you're not out there fighting. Act like a dang leader of a country.
Now, of course, this has disappeared yet again. Because CNN kind of outed themselves, and I can't find the clip, but I know it's out there because I've heard it.
Correct way to poop: squat, don't sit. I don't know why that's there.
Me neither.
Just like Foo Fighters Everlong. Why is that in there? The system is slowly degrading, Justin. It's slowly degrading. Even a search engine cannot bring up what we want. The system is degrading.
Now, pretty much at this time, 24 hours ago, President Joe Biden lobbed in Ukraine in a top secret visit, a pretty significant visit.
A top secret visit? Yeah, it sure looks top secret.
Invaded Ukraine, honouring the bravery of the Ukrainian resistance and pledging to continue the crucial support from the US and NATO. This, as you know, stops short of putting boots on the ground, but does include enormous amounts of money and military hardware. In typical Biden style, however, there were moments of confusion, including over the very geography of NATO, the North Atlantic Treaty Organisation.
We built a coalition of nations from the Atlantic to the Pacific. NATO in the Atlantic, Japan in the Pacific. I mean, across the world.
Oh boy, it's just the whole world ought to cover it all. Let's bring in commentator and blogger to the nation, the Daily Telegraph's Tim Blair. Tim,
smell like fake.
Great to see you, mate.
Okay, so that didn't have what I wanted.
Dude has a KFC chicken bucket on his.
Yes, he does.
Thing there, on his shelf. All right, look up when you get a minute. Look up Wags the Dog movie thing, whatever you want to call it. Preview. Oh, we haven't talked about how he has told the UN to hurry up.
Nope, we haven't. We'll get there. Damn it. Come on now. This is super annoying.
Dang.
Let's go back to this.
Part of the puzzle only took 10 minutes. It was when you had the President of the United States in a church in the Senate. Sirens. The first thing you want to find out to do something like, and it's interesting because, you know, the expectation had been that
sirens were actually going, and there's actual support that they are sending as well. Clarissa, what a remarkable moment, though, was as President Biden and President Zelensky were walking into the church, I believe that's behind you, air raid sirens were actually going off in Kyiv as President Biden was on the ground, right?
And it's interesting because, you know, the expectation had been that with the president here, it might be a quiet day. The Russians almost certainly already knew he was here. They'd be unlikely to do something like, you know, extraordinary, like launching a missile attack on this city while the president was here. But when we heard those air raid sirens, the first thing you want to find out is what type of threat has been reported. In this case, it was MiG activity over Belarus. That, again, is something that we have on an almost daily basis, but it does take on pretty loaded significance when you have the president of the United States in a church in the center of town, still miles away from the next border being Poland, where we presume.
Okay, so this is fucking annoying. I'm really tired of knowing that something's out there and not being able to find it yet again. So let's see if we can find it on Twitter.
What were you looking for again?
The CNN reporters saying that they hadn't heard air raid sirens and they had been there for 5 days.
It's 5 days. I have not.
Found it. So, this guy.
I've been here for the past 5 days. I have not heard any explosions. I have not heard any air sirens until about half an hour ago, right when President Biden was in the center of Kyiv, as Clarissa was just mentioning. I've been here for the...
Wag the dog, baby. There you go. There it is.
Did you just send something?
I did. Wag the dog. It's a wag the dog situation, man.
There's a crisis in the White House.
What's the crisis?
And the president's top advisors have been called together.
Oh, jeez.
The sexual misconduct occurred inside the Oval Office. With the election only days away, how much will this scandal affect the outcome?
The president spent the weekend pressing the flesh. He wasn't campaigning, he was dating, actually.
Now, Washington's top spin doctor.
We can distract the press for 11 days till the election. I think we got a chance.
Has an idea.
We can't afford a war.
We're going to have the appearance of a war.
But he can't pull it off without Hollywood's top producer.
Do I know you?
We have some mutual friends in Washington.
Why come to me?
We want you to produce. You want me to produce your war? Not a war. It's a pageant. We need a theme, a song, some visuals. We need, it's a pageant.
New Line Cinema presents.
How close are you to this? What do you want the kid to say?
All the spectacle.
I know we're all concerned for the president.
I know we're all concerned for the president.
I know that we are all concerned for the president.
He didn't sell the line.
All the drama.
The president's going to go to war with Albania in about 30 minutes.
Albania's hard to run.
These are chips.
We need it for the armed position on the string. It'll be a kitten. We'll punch it in later, right?
And all the effects of real war.
Okay, put the village behind her.
Give me some sound of screaming.
Without the casualties.
America has seldom witnessed a more poignant picture of...
They used the same process with the last Schwarzenegger movie. You're the man.
Albania, Albania.
That rhymes.
I can't believe it. We forgot a hero. It was like we sent him the Christmas card and we left out the what do you call? Okay, there you go.
Joe, I think you might be onto something. That is a very wag the dog.
Very wag the dog
situation right there.
It's a very wag the dog.
Now, in other Ukraine news, Russia has decided to no longer participate in a nuclear arms treaty.
Oh, it's the Cold War all over again, baby. I just love that button. That's my favorite button.
You're welcome. Ugh. It's
Putin's getting his red rockets ready.
So President Vladimir Putin recently announced that Russia will no longer participate in the New START, the last remaining nuclear weapons agreement between the U.S. and Russia. Not good.
See, that's why I messaged you the other day and I was like, can we just yeah, can we just can we just push the button? Can we just Can we just, just go? Just full send.
People are going to hate that button. They're really going to hate that button. But you know what? I mean, at the end of the day, they can start whatever they want because we're all going to be over here like,
yeah. We get the QAnon shaman out of prison, baby.
Yep. He's going to shaman his way into a war. What are you doing?
Making sure that was right.
Yep, it is. So, that's not good. They've also put nuclear-armed ships in the Baltic Sea now. China's leader, Xi Jinping, is going to Russia to meet with Vladimir Putin because they are thinking about actively supplying Russia with arms.
Which
I'll take. How do you start World War III for 1,000, Alex?
Yeah, pretty much.
Because that's where we're headed.
Yep. Let's get it.
Stupid.
Thank you.
Yep, you're welcome. You're welcome. We need to really put images on these.
Yeah.
Make it easy to find.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, maybe it's all just...
You are fake news.
It's all a wag the dog situation,
it's all wag
baby.
The dog.
It's all wag the dog.
So,
look, we've been talking about World War III for like a year now.
Hold on, friends. Remember how I told you it was going to get worse?
It's worse. It's getting worse.
It's getting worse.
Yes. And World War III, I mean, we've been talking about it for a year now. Not quite a year, but close to a year.
Come on, man.
We've been thinking about it for a long time. But, man, I told you, didn't I? I told you, Russia doesn't come out of this without either winning or using a nuke.
No, there's no off-road for them anymore.
I don't see that off-ramp anywhere.
But you know what? If they use a nuke, this is all we're going to hear.
If they don't hit us too.
That's fair.
Because last time I heard you talked about the ships going into the Baltic Sea, I do believe they sent some our way as well.
Off the coast of Alaska.
Either way.
Yeah. But, I mean, that's normal because that's technically, there's only 22 miles between Russia and Alaska.
But even still.
So, kind of shared.
There's a lot of people in Juneau, though.
Yeah, but not near enough. Okay, listen, some of you are going to die. And that is a sacrifice I'm willing to make.
I don't know about that, man. Juneau, Alaska's our last frontier.
Hold on.
Shall have the honor, no, the privilege to go forth and rescue the lovely Princess Fiona from the fiery keep of the dragon. If, for any reason, the winner is unsuccessful, the first runner-up will take his place, and so on and so forth. Some of you may die, but it's a sacrifice I am willing to make.
You know, the population of Juneau, Alaska is only 31,973.
Yeah.
Actually,
and so on and so forth. Some of you may die, but it's a sacrifice I am willing to make.
That will be a button next week. Just FYI. It will probably replace...
we probably need to need to cycle some of the old ones out.
Yeah, we need to get rid of some of the old ones. But like stupid, liar, don't be a dick.
Don't be a dick.
Can't get rid of those.
No.
But we could probably get rid of like the AOC, So Much Unity. As much as I don't want to, we could get rid of Cat Vibe. I'm glad that we have fun doing this. So I mean, we're gonna run a little bit later tonight because we started a little bit later because fucking, why wouldn't we?
Technical difficulties, baby.
Always. It's always something. It's always fucking something. Anywho. So yeah, like I said, you know, friends, remember how I told you it was gonna get worse?
It's getting worse.
It's getting worse. Cheers.
Buy guns and ammo.
Guns and ammo. They're going to be very important very soon.
I wouldn't say buy guns. Like, buy the gun or guns you may need and buy lots of ammo for those guns.
If you don't have a gun,
yes,
buy guns.
Yes. You don't really need a lot of guns. You can only shoot so many at one time. You need a lot of ammo. That's what you
really
need.
Just need a pistol and a rifle.
Okay, this is what I said. I was talking to some folks about it one time, and I said, this is what I think you need. I think you need a battle rifle, like an AR-15, or a Mini 14, not Mini 14. Something that can take more than, 5-6 rounds, right? You need a battle rifle. You need a sidearm. You need a shotgun for close, in your home, because you really don't want to shoot an AR in your home, because that could actually go through a lot of walls. And if you have children or other people living with you, that could be a bad day. So I would say shotgun, battle rifle, pistol, hunting rifle, like a long range rifle.
Well, if you have the right kind of AR, you can.
Yeah, but you don't want to use your battle ammo though. You see what I'm saying? Like you won't need as much hunting ammo. You see what I'm saying here?
Yeah. The great thing about war though is that like when you run out of ammo, you kill the enemy and take theirs.
Well, yeah, that's fair. But
unless
I'm saying
they're using that 7.62 shit.
But I'm saying, like, if you're not in an active battle, if it's just a survival situation, I'm saying if you want to know a spread of guns that I would recommend, those are the ones I recommend: battle rifle, sidearm of your choice, shotgun, hunting rifle.
You can always use good snipers.
Yeah, I mean that too.
Hunting ammo is good for sniping.
Yeah, that too.
So anyway, shit, I forgot what I was going to say. I hate it when that fucking happens. I literally cannot stand it.
Do we have anything else to talk about?
I'm sure we do.
Oh, we haven't talked about Ben Stiller standing up to the woke mob.
Yeah. I mean, I really don't care too much about that, though. It's just.
I just put it in there for us to mention. So basically, people are being offended because of Tropical Thunder. That was made Tropic Thunder, which was made how long ago?
It was like 2003.
Like, this was a long time ago, and he's basically like, I don't apologize for it.
So
because he did, he was, I'm just a white dude playing a black dude or whatever. It was funny.
No, it was boycotted. So it came out in 2013. I thought it came out way earlier than that. Tropic Thunder was boycotted 10 years ago when it came out, and I apologized then. It was always meant to make fun of actors trying to do anything to win awards. I stand by my apology. The movie, Shaun White, and the great people in work of the Special Olympics still wrote at the time. I don't think that was about the movie so much. Anyway, yeah, I mean, I think standing up to the woke mob is something that all these actors need to do. But you've got to remember that also there's a lot of actors out there like Mr. George Clooney, who I absolutely have zero respect for now, who think that the government should be able to interject themselves into your lives.
Bro, we're forgetting something big.
What?
They released the Epstein flight log.
No, they didn't release the flight log. They released the court documents.
You sent me the flight log.
I sent you screenshots of something that was supposedly the client list, but it really wasn't. But
damn it.
Now we were just talking about Russia and Ukraine, so let's go back to that.
The UN Security Council had a meeting yesterday, and Ray McGovern spoke to it. He is a former member of the CIA, and he testified in support of Seymour Hersh's article on the United States bombing Nord Stream pipeline. If it is proven that the United States bombed the Nord Stream 2 pipeline, as has been asserted by Seymour Hersh and his article, will you call for the United States to acknowledge and admit that that was an act of war against Germany and Russia? And I'm asking this because this may be the only way to prevent the rest of us from being killed in a thermonuclear war. And I don't want to be fried. Don't you think the media should be reporting on whether or not this is true? And don't you think you should be inquiring into whether or not this is true?
Well, thank you for the question. One, I've got no information to suggest that the United States was involved in bombing the Nord Stream pipeline.
Because you weren't briefed on it.
Sir, you got your chance to ask a question. So you gave me an opportunity to respond.
You weren't given information because he explicitly says you weren't briefed on it. Right. Shouldn't you inquire?
So here's what I'll say about, I think, President Biden's leadership generally as it relates to the Ukraine and Russia.
We committed an act of war. What are you doing to respond to that? We have to hold Biden accountable. So listen, you're from Brooklyn, right? You know when to call bullshit when you see it. So do I. This is bullshit right now. And I see what's happening right now. That does not silence me. So, you can hear me right now. I want you to say something about the bombing, because we're all going to die from a nuclear war right now unless you stop it and you at least put and inquire into whether or not it's true. This war in Ukraine is going to leave us all dead. So what are you going to do? Because you need to inquire. I'm a New Yorker too.
Here's what I'll say.
Say it.
We're going to continue to stand with the Ukrainian people.
That's fucking bullshit. Do not do that. You will end us all dead.
In this war against Vladimir Putin.
Peace. We need talks.
Because
why are you sabotaging talks? Do not put your hands on me. We need peace talks. I am not going to take this. We need peace talks. You are leaving. Listen.
Democracy.
Did you even read the allegations?
And autocracy. It's a battle between truth
accountability? Not airheadedness.
And it's a battle between tyranny and freedom. And democracy, truth, and freedom will prevail. And the United States is going to help make sure that happens.
Not destruction. How about that?
How about it? Join me
you goddamn airhead! You're gonna kill us all. I don't want to die in a goddamn nuclear war, and nobody does.
That guy's out there doing the Lord's work.
But they're at the end of it, man. You know how when you hear things, sometimes you just get these flashes of what could be.
Yeah.
I just imagine us sitting in somewhere in the woods or whatever when this shit all finally goes down, and remembering this guy very much being like, I don't want to die in an effing nuclear war. And we're all just sitting there like, well, I wonder if the dude's alive still.
He probably did.
However, I noticed a similarity. Go look up that video of that dude yelling at AOC.
Oh, it's the same guy.
It's the same guy?
It is the same guy.
That's what I was wondering.
It is 100% the same guy.
And he said the same thing to her.
He's making the rounds. He's doing the Lord's work, man. And Hakeem Jeffries, fuck you.
Eat a dick.
Thank you, Joe.
You know what I gotta say?
What? What are you looking for?
Good sir. Good job. Keep up the good work.
Indeed.
None of us want to die in a nuclear war.
No, none of us do. And so while all this is going on, you know that there's this huge investigation thing going on with Trump, right? In Georgia. Well, I don't know much about the case, and I don't really care much about the case, but somebody has been making the rounds, and it might be the lead juror in the case, and she looks like a fucking psychopath.
Is it, would you say, when it comes to, there are...
Bro. Oh, wait, no. We're going to have to get on YouTube for better quality, because you got to be able to see this bitch's face.
Dude, she was just like, I see you, boy.
Yes, the foreman of the jury.
I thought that was a scrotum there for a minute. It was a foot.
Right.
Did you see that wrinkly foot thing? It looked like a scrotum. There it is.
But one, we do know, of course, one of the biggest questions remaining for everyone that wasn't in that jury room.
You know what she looks like? She looks like that like Slender Man looking creeper thing that's just like...
Yeah, kind of.
With you, is how many people are in trouble here? What can you tell us about how many people you recommended as a group to face indictments?
Well, thank you for having me, first of all. And I'm hesitant to speak to something that the judge made a decision not to share. I don't know if everyone's aware of this, but there was a hearing about what parts of the report should and should not be published in its various forms, and the sections that were removed were consciously chosen to be removed, and I don't want to say I have better judgment than the judge.
That's totally understandable. Is it, would you say, when it comes to, there are indictments recommended, of course. Is it more than 12 people? Is it more than 20 people?
I think if you look at the page numbers of the report, there's about 6 pages in the middle that got cut out. Allow for spacing. It's not a short list.
Not a short list. More, I mean, when it comes to 75 witnesses, like, it's not, I assume, of course, it's not 75 people. Would you characterize it as 20-ish people?
I can't say I counted.
Okay. More than a dozen, though, I think I'd heard you say in another interview?
I believe so. That's probably a good assumption.
The name that everyone wants to know about is former President Trump.
Of course.
Did you recommend charges against Donald Trump?
I really don't want to share something that the judge made a conscious decision not to share. I will tell you that it was...
I don't think that's legal.
...a process where we heard his name a lot.
So, not only that, but there's also another video.
We are starting in the state of Georgia. Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis has yet did the Grand Court forewoman this afternoon for her first television interview. And she dropped a whole lot of hints.
Did the grand jury recommend indictments of multiple people?
Yes. I will tell you, it's not a short list. I mean, we saw 75 people, and there are 6 pages of the report cut out.
So we're talking about more than a dozen people?
I would say that, yes.
Are these recognizable names, names that people would know?
There are certainly names that you would recognize, yes. There definitely are some names that you expect.
The grand jury forewoman tells...
Is this legal? Like this woman talking about it?
I don't think that there are any, giant...
It's going to ruin the case.
That's not the way I expected this to go at all.
It's going to have the case thrown out,
I don't think that's...
basically.
Pretty much.
...in store for anyone.
So nothing that would surprise people who have been following this.
But yet MSNBC and all these people are like, ha ha ha! Look at this! We're getting information, and it's gonna.
It probably.
But Trump's gonna get off on whatever this is because this dumbass.
Expect you to be too shocked. No, potentially, it might.
It's hard to parse that one out. I love it. So maybe Trump's former chief of hour and a half witness.
How many people came into the room?
She's one of the jury members, right?
Of President
She's
Trump,
the
but did you
foreman of the
confirm
jury.
recorded her to be the 420th
Yeah.
call between?
How are people even allowed to talk to her right now?
Neat for me.
Okay.
My coolest moment.
Also said things like this.
My coolest moment was shaking Rudy Giuliani's hand. That was really cool for me. I made a point of stopping them and being like, wait, before we go back to this, can I shake your hand? Because this is an honor to meet the guy. It was really neat for me.
Okay. What we have in these interviews is a...
So here's my theory, right? She's not crazy, but she's trying to make it impossible to indict anybody in this case. She's an operative. Has to be.
But it would have to be an operative of Trump.
It would have to be an operative that would stand to gain something from
Trump being let off.
Yeah.
Of all this. But what gets me is, how is the media talking to this girl? If she's a juror, the jury's not supposed to be allowed to look at the media, talk to the media until this is all over. Like, by law, I thought that was part of it.
Yeah, the case is going to fall apart.
But I'm saying, how'd they even get in contact with her? Like, usually I thought that they kind of kept an eye on this stuff.
A single, very strange woman may be jeopardizing what could be a coming Trump indictment out of the Georgia grand jury that ended its work a few weeks ago. Let me set this up, and this is weird and cringy and just bizarre.
So you think she's doing it on purpose?
One of the
100%.
members of the grand jury in Georgia, indicted, it's been going in a business. No, most importantly, this could really be. I mean, this probably isn't a. But it is.
I wanted to hear from the former president, but honestly, I kind of wanted to subpoena the former president because I got to swear everybody in. And so I thought it'd be really cool to get 60 seconds with President Trump of me looking at him and being like, do you solemnly swear? And me getting to swear him in. I kind of just thought that would be.
Oh my God, this is very much not good, guys. This is very, very much not good.
Awesome moment. I can see
it would have been awesome, not indicated by the facts, not necessary out of a sense of duty and justice. It would have been really cool and awesome to subpoena Trump.
Trying to get the former president to come talk to us would have been a year in negotiation by itself.
So it sounds like that was ultimately a battle that you all decided not to wage.
Exactly. That's kind of how it ended up, was that, and I'd be fascinated by what he said, but do you think he would have come in and said anything groundbreaking, or just the same kind of thing we've heard? So at some point, you don't need to hear 50 people say the same thing. You know what I mean? At some point, you kind of start to get the gist.
Sure. Indeed. Super weird.
Yeah, that's a weird one, man.
So the fact that she has even made the four-person
is a little weird.
Is weird. Because she's, and I literally just saw this in a comment. She's acting like a teenager. I can't believe they made her the forewoman of this jury.
Yep.
And that's true. She is acting like a teenager.
Yep.
And it's unbecoming and stupid. It's really, really dumb. And I don't know what time we started at all.
Let's see.
We got about 6 minutes left for a standard 2-hour show. So you think maybe it's just time for the funny?
Hold on, let me see. Yeah, we got. Yep, you're right. Yep. Yeah, funny.
Funny, Tom. Well, if we've done this one before, terribly sorry. Not really. I don't care. It's still funny to this day. And, just it's going to be what it's going to be.
Senator Collins, thanks for coming in.
It's a great pleasure, thank you.
This ship that was involved in the incident off Western Australia this week...
Yeah, the one the front fell off?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not very typical. I'd like to make that point.
Well, how is it untypical?
Well, there are a lot of these ships going around the world all the time, and very seldom does anything like this happen. I just don't want people thinking that tankers aren't safe.
Was this tanker safe?
Well, I was thinking more about the other ones.
The ones that are safe?
Yeah, the ones the front doesn't fall off.
Well, if this wasn't safe, why did it have 80,000 tonnes of oil on it?
Well, I'm not saying it wasn't safe. It's just perhaps not quite as safe as some of the other ones.
Why?
Well, some of them are built so the front doesn't fall off at all.
Well, wasn't this built so the front wouldn't fall off?
Well, obviously not.
How do you know?
Well, because the front fell off and 20,000 tonnes of crude oil spilled into the sea caught fire. It's a bit of a giveaway. I just like to make the point that that is not normal.
Well, what sort of standards are these oil tankers built to?
Oh, very rigorous maritime engineering standards.
What sort of thing?
Well, the front's not supposed to fall off for a start.
And what other things?
Well, there are regulations governing the materials that they can be made of.
What materials?
Well, cardboard's out. No cardboard derivatives.
Like paper?
No paper. No string, no sellotape.
Rubber?
No, rubber's out. They've got to have a steering wheel. There's a minimum crew requirement.
What's the minimum crew?
Oh, one, I suppose.
So the allegations that they're just designed to carry as much oil as possible, to hell with the
ludicrous.
consequences, I mean, that's ludicrous.
Absolutely ludicrous. These are very, very strong vessels.
So what happened in this case?
Well, the front fell off in this case, by all means, but it's very unusual.
But Senator Collins, why did the front fall off?
Well, a wave hit it.
A wave hit it?
A wave hit the ship.
Is that unusual?
Oh, yeah. At sea, chance in a million.
So what do you do to protect the environment in cases like this?
The ship was towed outside the
Chance in a
environment.
million.
Into another environment?
No, it's been towed beyond the environment. It's
Yes,
not
but
in the
into
environment.
No, but from one environment to another environment.
No, it's beyond the environment. It's not in an environment. It
Well,
has
it
been
must be
towed
somewhere.
beyond the environment.
Well, what's out there?
Nothing's out there.
Well, there must be something out
There
there.
is nothing out there. All there is sea and birds and fish.
And
20,000 tonnes of crude oil.
And what else?
And a fire.
And anything else?
And the part of the ship that the front fell off. But there's nothing else out there.
Senator Collins, thanks for
It's a
joining us.
complete void.
Yeah, we're out of
The
time.
environment's perfectly safe. We're out of time?
Yeah.
Can you book me a cab?
But didn't you come in a Commonwealth car?
Yes, I did. But
What happened?
well, the front fell off.
Oh,
my God.
That's so funny.
That will never get old.
Thanks for your time.
Good to be talking.
I mean, at the end of the day, the front didn't fall off the show. Except for it did.
The front always falls off the
The
ship.
front fell off.
The front always falls off.
Next week, it's going to be Welcome Back to Embers of Liberty, where the front didn't fall off.
No, we can't ever say that because the front always falls off.
The front always falls off. It's very unusual. Isn't this show supposed to be designed so the front doesn't fall off?
Well, we are, built for very rigorous standards, Justin.
Like what?
Well, the front's not supposed to fall off. And it's got to be made out of certain things.
Like what?
Well, the
water's out.
Pretend microphones aren't. You can't have pretend microphones. The computers have to have a screen.
Water's out.
Water's out. Yep.
Can't be made out of water.
Can't be made out of whiskey.
But why not?
Because
then the front falls off.
No, that's when it's made out of marg. When it's made out of marg, the front falls off the show. I want some marg.
That fucking button. Well, it's
maybe it's about that time.
It is about that time.
My butt's starting to hurt.
Yeah, this chair, my butt doesn't hurt in it. It's pretty nice.
Getting tired, ready to go turn on the television, head off to nap land.
Night time.
Night time.
Well,
well, never mind.
No.
So say we didn't talk about the Epstein stuff, but you said that wasn't really a big thing.
I mean, it is and it isn't. We can talk about that next week. Because
Okay.
it's still a developing story.
Okie doke.
Well, I'm Justin.
I'm Joe.
And the front didn't fall off.
Tally ho, lads.